Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here, back with more Let's Play Shining Force 3 Scenario 3, and as you can see, I've got everyone leveled up to the 20 to 22 range, give or take. So the Heroes test is done. I have the live streams of that for some of the power leveling that I did, and then at the end of this episode I'm going to have a condensed version of what happens with the Heroes test at the end of this video, just super condensed. So yeah. We're done with that. Let's finish this up. Alright, so this section here, we have this neat little room here that has little portraits over all of our faces that have little portraits over our faces. Little portraits of our faces. That basically represent each individual army's HQ. So you can go into each army's HQ and kind of look around and, you know, talk to people and get some stuff, you know. It's mostly, you know, side stuff. It's filler. So each army has a little room like this for Median and Julian because they can have monsters. This room, we get a special little section because Symbios does not get monster, like dragons or monsters, thanks to Cyclops or Pipettes. So, but we come over here and we're going to get a really interesting little scene of Pin and Pinco reuniting for the first time since the destruction of Aspia Castle. So, it's been a while since they've last seen each other, and obviously they are still just as much in love as they were before, and Pindolf must be very happy that, you know, they're still together, but he's gonna be even happier about this. It's like, I have something to show you. What is it? Come inside, everyone. Children! Adorable hopping penguin children everywhere. Look at them. Look at them hop around. I kind of love this, just having them hop around. These are all your children. Take care of them. Bye! Like, that's probably the best part. It's like, these are your kids. Have fun. Bye. Oh, it's wonderful. And they're gonna sit there and, like, talk to them. It's like, are you my dad? Let's play together. Yay! Happy time. Yeah, that sort of thing. Alright, line up everyone. And so you can kind of talk to Pen's kids. And two of them look basically the same. Mommy, I'm hungry, and Daddy, play with us. Those two basically look the same. In fact, I'm pretty sure they are the same. It's the same model. It's the same model. That's a little disappointing. My favorite one is this green one here with the hat. Who just says, look at him. A little penguin wearing a hat and a bow tie. How is that not awesome? I don't know, but I find that to be awesome. So, that's one little thing that we get to see, and then the other things that we get to see is we get to go into Julian's army, HQ, and there's just gonna be some random dude hanging out. Like, you know, like you do, just hanging out with someone's army. Alright, so we're gonna come in here and Primula, out of the way. There's a guy just kind of over here hanging out in the corner eating ramen. You have a strange face. Don't just stand there, have something to eat. Will you allow Master Unoma to join the Julian army? There are many cute children here, by the way. Hey little girl, want to be my apprentice? Alright, so Unoma the pervert, basically, has joined the Force. So let's take a look at Uno. Like, I'm not going to be using him. Class of Master, and he has the Berserk Claw. Level 20, he's already promoted to Force of Light stature. No, actually, I don't think he is, because he only has 58 HP. Attack of 82, defense of 50, agility of 33, luck of 5, movement of 5. He has no magic at all. But he can wear power undies, which is weird. Like, I don't, because he's the only male character that can wear the female power undies. So, but he does have some special, some unique special attacks: Godly Claw, Claw Wave, Heavenly Light. They're mostly reskins of other claws. Claw abilities, like Claw Wave is Dragon Fang, that sort of thing, so... but he's kind of like Frank in that, you know, he's got, you know, hand weapons, like claws, but no abilities to kind of follow up with that. Like, all the other Master Monk type characters have magic to help support that. So I've never really seen what his ending stats are to see if, like, his strength makes up for it. Never tried. Never looked into it. One thing that I also never looked into that affected me during this playthrough, that did not affect me through the first time I played through this game, is Garrosh. There's a... he's not in this army. He's in mediums. There's a glitch for Garrosh. Once you hit level 20, he will start gaining negative 8 HP. And it lasts for a while. So each level up you get, you're going to actually lose 8 HP. I've lost 24 HP on Garrosh, so he's at like 70 some on HP, where everyone else is pushing the 90s to 100s. Like, looking at this force, like, everyone is above level 100, or everyone's not level 100, everyone's above 100 HP, and Garrosh is at like 70. So that gives you an idea of just how boned that glitch can make you. And apparently it's a well-known glitch, and I didn't know about it. So, alright, so we're going to get all of the items that are here. I don't need any of these items, but for those of you playing along at home, if you had not done the power leveling now, these items might be useful. So, first off, find a goddess tier, and that's basically all this is going to be, is goddess tiers and potions. And then there is some money, but like I feel kind of bad because I don't really need that money. Alright, so goddess tier potion. There's one over in this room, because that's the engine room. What am I looking for? Barrel. It's a barrel. So it's this one. Come on. There you go. And again, I don't need these items. I really don't, but... And that's everything in this... oh no, there's one other thing. There's fairy powder. Which, again, could have been useful in the last... throughout the power leveling situation. But not anything I'm worrying about now. Alright, so that's everything in the southeast. Now we head to the southwest part, which is over here. And first off, there's going to be fairy powder there. There is something in the first room here. Yes. Something we definitely don't need is 1600 gold, because I am maxed out on gold. Cannot do anything with it. And then this room we have the Murasame, which I don't need because I have the Kusanagi. I got 2 Kusanagis, which are better. The Kusanagi is the strongest katana in the game. So I've got that. What else we got? Treasure chest, opposite of the exit. So there's one here. And what am I looking for? It's there. An angel wing that we definitely don't need, because we're going to have 3 heroes throughout this next series of fights. 1700 gold, and that's everything in the main building, so everything else is going to be outside these little sections here. And one is over here, and another potion, and then there's one in this house. Which is another goddess tier. I love all of the masked monk people just kind of hanging out. It's like, oh yes, It's like they live outside, and inside the main building is where the non-masked monk people live. So it's an odd, interesting segregation, but then everything else is going to be outside on the southeast part, which I probably should have just gotten while I was here, but it's all outside. Let's see. Where was the church? Where? Okay, says there's a box behind. Is it behind the church? No, it just says near the church. So it could be any of these. I did not actually look for these. I just know. Okay. Oh. Apparently people are freaking out. I guess it could be that box too, but I can't get to that box. So that might be the box. Again, I don't care. I don't care. It's a goddess tier. Box near church. Barrel and house opposite of church. So I guess this one. Because I've got more goddess tiers than I actually know what to do with at this point. And another angel wing that I'm not going to need. Oh, and there's something else in that house too. It's in the shelf. Come over here, inspect the shelf, and more money. And then a fairy powder. And the south I already got. Alright, so yeah, I guess it's that. Where's it? It says a box. But I'll check the barrels. So I guess it's the box on the far side, but again, I don't need it. I'm not worrying about it. So that's not anything that I need to focus on. Alright, so last thing I'm going to do in this part is I'm going to give everyone all of the items that we have obtained for stat boosting. And I've basically put them on the people who are going to be using them. So those are all for Julian. Those are for Julian as well, because Gracie is not getting anything. Those are for Kate, Isabella, Bridget. Like everyone, that's all, or those are going to be for Proton. Because I'm only going to give them to the item, or I'm only going to let people use items that I'm aiming to have in the main force for the premium disc. So Julian's attack increases by 4, defense by 3. He's going to get better movement, and he's going to get more luck. I could have made an Artemis pin for him, but I didn't. Because I don't really see the point to it at the moment, because I don't feel like dealing with that RNG. So he gets both of those. And his luck is now what? 9. Okay. So that was the goal. And then Kate gets 2 power wines. Attack up by 3. And attack by 2. So 5 attack for Kate. Isabella gonna get a quick chicken. Agility by 3. God damn it, stop doing that. I wish it just stayed on the person that I was just on. Luck by 2. And then 2 bright honeys. To give a fair bit of MP. 1 bright honey for Bridget. And who else got stuff? Proton. Proton gets 2 health breads, 2 protect milks, and a power wine. So Proton's got a lot of stuff going for him at the moment. Except not, because that's the thing, like, Proton really, I felt like he got kind of the short end of the stick in terms of stats. So he's getting some interesting stat buffs, and he's sadly getting this short end of the stick on these too, because he's only getting like 2 for everything. Alright, 3, that's a little bit better. And I could... One thing you can do for these is save before you use it, and if you don't like the stat gains that you get, you can reset and try it again until you... That's a good way to min-max, like if you really want like the 3, 4, you know, increase, that's how you do it. Alright, so all of this is for Symbios, so let's use this. Symbios gets attacked by 3, gets defense by 2, kinda crappy. The running pepper will always do 2. Health bread, max HP by 4. Grace gets all of these. Agility by 3. More luck. That way all of my healers will have 10 luck, so that I don't need to worry about status effects on my healers. Especially since they have antidote to protect other people. That's the goal for that. Hayward will get 2 power wines, and this is, like, you can see who's going to be in my premium disc force by doing this. So it's pretty apparent who I'm going to be using. But it's a different force than what I used last time. Now, as you saw, I didn't have Gracia in. Like, I'm not using Gracia this time. Mostly because I feel like Gracia has not been as useful to me as some of the other healers could be. But yeah, we're gonna give everyone all of these items, and the last thing for this group is I've got the 2 Brave Apples. One is going to be used on Symbios, level 23, HP, MP, attack, defense, agility. So not a bad level up. And then next is going to be Grace. And again, not the best series of level ups. And then last we've got Median. So, and this is actually the easy, or the quickest part, because I think there's only 2 people from the Median force who's going to be in my final force. One of which being Median. So Median gets Power Wine, Protect Milk, Running Pepper, and a Health Bread. And then the last person is going to be Hedva. And I think all... Yeah, it was Hedva, but she didn't get anything, because I didn't have enough Bright Honeys to go around. So yeah, that's it! So actually, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and do this off screen, is I'm going to get everyone the items that they need back for the premiums. I'm going to take things out of the inventory, like the potions, the Goddess Seers, the Healing Rains, that sort of thing. I've got a ton of stuff, as you can see. So all that's going to go ahead and come out and get placed on people so that they can have it for the premium disc. So yeah, I'll go ahead and end this episode here. It'll be a slightly long episode with the Heroes Test Super Condensed version at the very end. So yeah, I will see you all in the next installment. So till then, later everyone. Hello ladies and gentlemen, MarauderEX here with a change to this. I'm not entirely sure where this is going to go in the video. It might go in the beginning, it might go in the end, I don't know. So I did my typical, hello ladies and gentlemen, I don't know. Either way, I'm going to condense a ton of Heroes Test footage into one video. Basically, I did several live streams where I power leveled through the Heroes Test, and for those of you who are following the project as a part of the Let's Play and not as a channel as a whole, the Heroes Test is 10 floors of fights that you will do with each of the 3 armies. So that's 30 floors worth of fights if you wanted to complete it normally. And you're probably going to have to do the floors, some of the floors multiple times, to do some power leveling, which is what I ended up doing. Unless you spent a lot of time power leveling through each of the games to get your force up to a significant level. Now, what I've done is I'm just giving a very quick overview of each of the 10 floors. I have a little graphic that's going to pop up and show what the treasures are for completing that floor with what army. So it'll have Julian, Median, and Symbios, and it'll have a little picture and the item name underneath what you get for completing that floor with that army. And then I do a quick run-through of showing off all of the enemies that you will see. Now, each floor is basically the same. It's the same square layout. Your positioning can change depending on the floor, but you're always going to have 3 different types of enemies. You're going to have an enemy type on the top layer, you're going to have an enemy type in the middle layer, and then you're going to have a boss on the bottom layer. You will always have 1 of each type of the boss, 2 to 3 of the enemy type on the middle layer, and then, depending on the floor, anywhere between 8 and 12 enemies on the top layer, depending on if there's 2 for each section, 2 for several sections, and then 3 for other sections, or 3 for each section. So, it sounds a little complicated, but it really isn't. It's really the same thing over and over again, and it's fairly monotonous, which drove me insane. The Heroes test is the part that really causes me to burn out of this very quickly, because like I said, you're going to do a minimum of 30 fights, and that is if you are able to beat all 10 floors without having to power level. And the final boss that you have to beat 3 times total is actually more difficult than the final boss of the game. And this entire setup here is actually the precursor to the premium disc fights, where you will fight increasingly harder and harder fights with all of the applicable heroes. You get to make a group from all 3 forces of everyone you manage to recruit through those playthroughs, and fight a lot of legacy fights that are considerably harder than even the final boss of this Heroes test. But much like, say, Final Fantasy, there are optional bosses that are stronger than the final boss. So if you are able to beat the Heroes test, you should have no problem beating the rest of the game from here. Like I said, it's a lot. I end up power leveling all 3 forces up to the 20 to 22 range, you know, that give or take that area, and in doing so, I maxed out on Orichalcum. I actually have over 100 Orichalcum pieces available to me, not counting the ones that you can buy from the shop. Because one of the things that you will get is each time you complete a floor again with an army that has already completed it, you will get an Orichalcum as the reward. So say you are on, you know, floor 3, and for Symbios you would get a quick chicken. If you've already beaten floor 3 and you have to go back for whatever reason and redo floor 3, you will not get a second quick chicken. You will get an Orichalcum. So that should give you an idea of how many times I had to redo some of these fights. And the problem with the Scenario 3 Heroes test is it does not allow you to skip floors simply for the convenience of power leveling. You have to redo every floor by killing the boss and progressing to the next floor. So you can just make a beeline for the boss to kill him, but you cannot instantly skip to, say, floor 6, floor 7, floor 8. I don't know why you can't. It makes no sense to me why you can't, because each time you enter a new floor, all of your stats reset. So all of your HP and MP are refilled. If you were paralyzed or poisoned or anything else, those are reset. You're back to normal. At least I've encountered paralyzed being reset. I don't know about poison. I've seen paralyzed be reset before. So I don't know why they don't allow you to skip ahead so that you don't have to flood your storage with Orichalcum if you're simply aiming to power level. One good thing about this is if you complete the floor with someone who has a full inventory, you do not lose that item. Whoever your army advisor is, so like Benetrim, Duke Palaces, you know, they will take your item for you. Like, oh, I'm sorry, your hands are full. Let me take that for you, which I swear is something the game needed in Scenario 1, so that you don't lose items. I get having a full inventory and maybe getting a treasure chest, and it's like, okay, what will you drop for this? But the Heroes test, at the very least, it's a welcome addition so you don't lose anything. Now, like I said, I have 2 rounds of live stream that I did for power leveling, one of which I went through the entirety of the Heroes test as Symbiosis Force, and after a grueling amount of time, beat Tauros, the final boss of the Heroes test, who has a whopping 5,000 HP. It took a while, and like I said, it's one of those things that kind of burns you out. And this is the reason why it's taken me a fair bit of time, in addition to, you know, dealing with getting computer components set up. It takes a ridiculous amount of time to do this section. And it's mind-numbing. It really is. There's no fun way to put a spin on this, as much as I would love to. So I figure with, you know, 2 rounds of live streaming, that's several hours worth of footage. If you really want to see the Heroes test in a fuller form, that's it. But I didn't want to spend, you know, 20, 30 episodes on the Heroes test again. So hope you've enjoyed it, and back to the regularly scheduled Let's Play.